Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Kai's World. I'm Kai, and thanks for tuning in. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about my experience as a Target associate. So about a month ago now, I quit my job at Target due to, I feel like they were being very unfair with me. Well, my managers and my team leads and actually the HR manager, they were doing some real conniving, sneaky shit. When it came to my time to leave, I was like, okay, it's time to go. So when I first had applied, it was back in October. They were having an open house or whatever, like open interview. So I went, I got the job, and it literally took them like a month to get back to me on when my orientation date was. And they were like, oh, they had scheduled my orientation date and I didn't show up. And I was like, oh no, that's incorrect. When I first got the job, you guys told me that you would be contacting me to let me know when exactly my orientation date was, and it never happened. I went to orientation, and on the piece of paper I had to sign, y'all, the incorrect pay rate was on there. And I was looking at her, like one of the HR members, and I was like, oh no, this is incorrect. And she's like, well, just sign it for now. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not signing anything if it's incorrect, because then that's like, oh, I give my consent, and I'm not giving my consent to you guys paying me lower than what you're supposed to be paying me. So that was that. Then it took me like a whole maybe couple weeks to get put on the schedule. So I finally called them and I'm like, hey, I'm supposed to, be working there. I got the job. However, I don't know when you guys are putting me on the schedule. And the HR manager is on the phone like, oh, you've missed 3 scheduled shifts at this point. I don't think it's gonna work out. And I'm like, whoa. What do you mean I've missed 3 scheduled shifts? I didn't even know I was on the schedule. And she's like, oh, we sent it to your email. That's how we made you aware of it, and you've been a no call, no show. You haven't gotten back to us or told us anything. And I'm just like, well, what is that? And I'm just like, well, what email address do you guys have for me? She looks up my file, right? Why they have no email address for me? So I'm just like, you're right here about to tell me it's not going to work out, and you guys are going to fire me basically before I even start. Yet you guys are the ones in the wrong, because you don't even have a email address for me. You only have a number. So why wouldn't you call my number? So fast forward, I finally start after Thanksgiving. Because my birthday was November 23rd, Black Friday, and I was not going into nobody business on my 22nd birthday, on my birthday, period. I finally start on my first day, y'all. It was kind of cool, but I don't know, it was regular. They had me rearrange an entire what do you call that thing? Shapewear wall. And I'm like, who does this type of shit on their first day? But whatever, I've been in retail, I've worked with bras and underwear for a really long time, so it was nothing to me. But the only thing I would say I didn't like is when I first got there, I did a little bit of training, then the HR person passed me off to my my team lead or whatever. I really want to tell y'all her name, y'all. Let's call her Nina. Okay, her name's gonna be Nina, Nina, Nina. So Nina takes me over to meet another manager, and there's several people in the fitting room. And why this man grills me, y'all, in front of all these people, asking me what's my work history, what I have a background in, and it didn't really start getting bad until February. That's when hours and stuff started to decline. I went from getting maybe 38 hours a week to getting 17, 12, 13. There was even a week where I had 9 hours, y'all, and I just was like, I can't do this. And I also started getting into it with my team leads and my sales lead, because I'm definitely that person where if something's not right, I'm gonna question it, especially if you're telling me to do something and I feel a certain way about it. I don't care who you are. You can be above me or below me. I'm going to address it. Kept trying to nitpick at me, and I don't play that. I'm grown. So my first offense was when I got in trouble for going to the bathroom and not telling anybody that I was going to the bathroom. I'm like, first of all, I'm 22 years fucking old. Target. Okay? 22 years fucking old. I don't have to tell anybody that I'm going to the bathroom. That's why the fuck I quit Tommy Hilfiger, because they was on that dumb shit. Okay? Not doing that. My second one was I got in trouble for not calling out my break, because when you go on break, you're supposed to call out your break over the walkie so that your team leader, that your sales manager knows that, you know, you're going out on your 15-minute break, or your 30-minute break, whichever. So I got in trouble for not calling out my break. However, I had to correct Shawty because she took me to the back office to let me know that, you know, I was getting in trouble for not calling out my break. However, I really did call out my break. The problem was, which I let her know, when I called out my break, she was too busy talking, doing what she wasn't supposed to be doing to hear me call out my break. So technically it was on her, not on me. Then I just kept getting into it with these guys or whatever. I got in trouble for, you know, asking a coworker why she didn't clean up after herself, why she left her area a mess for me to clean up. I got in trouble for that, which I don't see a problem with. So finally, it was one day where I was working and the both of them take me to the office to talk to me, and they're like, we know you're not happy. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, how are you gonna bring me back here and tell me I'm not happy? Which I wasn't. So I kindly let them know, like, no, I'm not happy. I'm not happy with you guys. I'm not happy with the way the floor is always looking. And I'm gonna insert pictures into the video so y'all can see how, like, what I used to have to deal with on like a daily basis, not only with like customers, but also like my co-workers. They even get a fucking mess in there for me to like come back behind them and clean up. You know what I mean? Like, it was a total mess, and they wasn't correcting anybody or saying anything to anybody. So they brought me to the office to tell me that, you know, they know I'm not happy. And I told them, like, you know, I'm not happy because X, Y, and Z. And I asked them if I could transfer, and they were like, oh, you gotta go to the HR manager to transfer. So I'm like, okay. I go to the HR manager and I'm talking to her, and she's like, why do you want to transfer? And I'm like, because of the drama. Like, these bitches is in here nitpicking me and stuff like that. And it's a problem for me because somebody can only pick at me, but for so long until I just blow the fuck up on them. Like, that's just how I am. Sorry, that's just how I am, until I just blow up. And in order for me to not blow up, I was trying to move myself out of that situation, which is move myself out of that store completely. I asked to transfer to a different Target. And the HR manager is like, well, usually we don't transfer people on that. And I'm like, well, I don't feel comfortable in my situation. Like, I don't think that this is a good working environment. And she's telling me that she doesn't think that, you know, that's true. She thinks that I have a problem with authority. And I'm like, first of all, bitch, you don't even work with me. You don't even know me to even be talking to me about this. But okay, of course you're going to listen to what Nina and Sabrina had to say. You know what I mean? Like, of course. So she's like, well, I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna put it in your transfer in and see who will take you. So I'm like, okay. A week later, I get into it with Nina again. Okay, so I'm just having fun, you know, talking, conversing with my co-workers, and we're all in the fitting room, and she comes around the corner and she tells me that I'm too loud and I need to tone it down, because over the walkie I had said that electronics, you have a call on you know, whatever the line was. She comes around the corner with a little attitude, and she's like, you're too loud, you need to tone it down. And I'm looking at her like, oh, excuse me, who are you talking to? So of course I got sarcastic back with her, and we just kept going back and forth being sarcastic. And I'm like, well, I'll tone it down when I go on break. And she's like, go on break now. And I'm like, well, I already was about to go on break, so don't dismiss me. Like, excuse me, no ma'am, we're not doing that, don't dismiss me. So she's like, enjoy it. I'm like, oh, I will. And then when I walked away, I made sure I told my other coworkers, bye guys, you know what I mean? Like, bye, see you later, see you when I come back. And I'm telling you, I was on the phone with my boyfriend while I was on my 30-minute break, and I told him, I said, when I come back out, Nina is probably going to take me to the back office to talk to me. Guys, that's exactly what she did. I get off break and she's calling me over the walkie, and I'm like, yeah, what do you want? She's like, can you meet me in the back office? And I'm like, for what? And she repeats herself, and I'm like, oh no, I heard you. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want me to come back there for? So she's like, when you come back there, you'll find out. Whatever bullshit. So I didn't go back there. And then she kept calling me over the walkie. So finally I went back there, and she has a whole nother manager in the office. And I'm like, why every time y'all call me back into this office, y'all got somebody else in here? Like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, what the fuck? Y'all don't do this with nobody else. Are y'all intimidated by me? And that's honestly what I think it was. But she took me back there and was telling me that, you know, I'm very unfriendly with the customers, with her. And I'm like, well, I'm never unfriendly with the customers. I love the customers. That's why I work in retail. I love customers and I love clothes. You know what I mean? Great fix. And she's basically telling me like I'm unfriendly with my co-workers as well, because of that one situation where I approached the new girl who literally had just came, and she was getting more hours than anybody in there. And I'm just like, what the fuck? What's wrong with y'all? You know what I mean? We're back there in the office, and she's telling me all these things or whatever, and I had to explain to her like, no, I'm not unfriendly with my co-workers or with the customers. I'm friendly with you, and we're unfriendly with each other. You know, there's a difference. And I let her know, like, you know, the thing that happened in the fitting room was completely your fault. You came and approached me rudely and said something to me, so I countered back. Like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm sorry, you're not going to bitch me like you bitched the rest of my co-workers, you know, and they don't say anything, they don't stand up for themselves. My mother didn't raise me like that, you know what I mean? And that was on a Sunday, so I was off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Y'all, why when I came back Thursday, I kid you not, I was at work for 15 minutes, and I was talking to one of my other co-workers who was there. And I get called by my team lead to come to the back to talk, to meet her at the front. And I'm like, I looked at my coworker, I said, they got one time to say some other shit to me, and I'm out of here. And I mean that. Y'all, we go back to the office, and she's telling me because of basically what happened with my sales manager Nina that day, I would not be able to transfer, which pissed me off, because I'm like, first of all, why are you telling me this? Like, I knew y'all was gonna sit here and try to do this bullshit. Like, I knew y'all was gonna pull a fucking stunt like this, and that's exactly what happened. They pulled a fucking stunt like that. So I was like, oh, fuck no. Then she's talking about some, oh, I'm gonna have to sign a disciplinary action thing because they've had to talk to me so many times. And I'm like, you guys have had to talk to me about some bullshit, straight bullshit. I got in trouble for not telling you guys I had to use the bathroom. You know, I'm getting in trouble for asking a coworker why she left all her fucking mess for me to clean up. I got in trouble for being too loud on the walkie. You know what I mean? Like, petty shit. And I told her straight up, I said, I'm not signing anything. Then I got the fuck up and I walked to the HR manager's office, because I was like, oh no, y'all got me fucked up. I can't transfer. I'm gonna have to stay here with y'all bitches. Fuck no. Fuck that. So I'm in here talking to the HR manager, and basically she's already had her mind made up. She's talking to them, and you know, they're really cliquey there. Like, there's been so many times I've walked in, you know, ready to start work, and they've been in the back gossiping and shit, and me and my coworkers are like, what the fuck? Like, y'all petty as fuck, miserable as fuck. So I'm talking to her, and I'm basically getting nowhere with her, like no fucking where with her. And I'm like, she's like, oh yeah, because your attendance as well. First of all, haven't been late to work in months. Last time I was late to work was like back in January. It was fucking April. Like, cut the shit. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's because y'all miserable asses want me to stay here with y'all. Y'all trying to get me out of here. That's basically what the fuck that was. So I was like, you know what? You fucking got it. I was talking to her, and I said, you know what? They're over here filing complaints about me. I want to file a complaint about them. And then she tries to get all hype and shit with me. So I'm like, oh, okay, you got it. I said, I'm done with this conversation, and I got the fuck up. I walked back out on the floor. Why the fuck my team lead is like on the walkie giving my shifts out? Mind you, I hadn't quit or anything. She's giving my shifts out to my coworkers while I'm standing right there. although she didn't know I was standing right there because I was just talking to them, and she was talking to them over the walkie. And I'm like, what? This bitch got some nerve. So I kindly went over to my fucking area. I smacked all that shit on the fucking ground, since they go tell me I never clean up my area when I'm the motherfucker who made sure my area was always fucking cleaned. Okay, always. I knocked all that shit down on the fucking floor for they asses to come the fuck in there and pick the fuck up. Okay, and then I went in the goddamn HR fucking manager's office, and I told her, make sure you put that I quit this bitch, not that I was fired, because you know y'all fake, how y'all fake bitches like to get down in here. Like, I couldn't believe them, and I walked the fuck up out of there. But then this was the thing, y'all. I left my fucking Chipotle in there, my brand new Chipotle that I had just fucking bought. So I had left, and I went right back in there, and y'all, I was waiting for them to say something to me. I low-key kind of wanted it. I'm not even gonna lie, I low-key kind of wanted it. But when I went in there, I just got my, mind you, this was like hours later. I went in there, I just got my Chipotle, and I walked out, and that was the last time I ever been in there. But honestly, I really wanted to see that team lead, and she was like nowhere to be fucking found, because I was gonna curse her ass the fuck out with her bald-headed ass, always wearing turbans and shit. I really was going to. Okay, my experience at Target, I'm not saying that, you know, your experience, if you're looking to work with them, is going to be the same as mine, because everybody's experiences are different with places that they work. But unfortunately, mine wasn't all that good, because I worked with really petty, jealous bitches who were easily intimidated by me. I hope that helped anybody out here looking to get a job at the Target in Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, one of them at least. I'm not gonna tell y'all which one I worked at exactly. Sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Kai family, okay?